Good morning, everyone. This is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the founder of CSTGIA, continuing our discussion in 2025 on cyber resilience, protecting what matters. We join you and say welcome to week 4. Over the last 3 weeks, we've built a very strong foundation for understanding and improving cybersecurity resilience. In week 1, we touched upon key cybersecurity priorities for 2025. We identified core focus areas, including data protection, emerging threats, cross-sector collaboration, and cybersecurity education. In week 2, in Cybersecurity Spotlight, Emerging Trends and AI-Driven Threats, we explored AI-powered cyber risks, ransomware trends, supply chain vulnerabilities, and the evolution of zero trust security. In week 3, we discussed building cyber resilience, where we discussed practical steps to safeguarding your businesses, focusing on incident response planning, zero trust implementation, endpoint security, and compliance. Now in week 4, we're advancing to the next level of resilience, proactive threat mitigation. Rather than waiting to respond to cyber attacks, we will explore how organizations can stay ahead of cyber threats, ensuring business continuity and long-term security. So why proactive cybersecurity matters? Because cyber attacks are not slowing down. They are becoming more sophisticated, AI-driven, and harder to detect. 75% of cyber attacks exploit known vulnerabilities that organizations fail to patch. Ransomware attacks increased considerably by 60% plus in 2024, with small businesses, nonprofits, and local governments among the top targets. And now AI-powered threats can include deepfake scams, autonomous hacking tools, and hyper-personalized phishing emails. The key to cyber resilience is shifting from reaction to prevention. This means predicting threats before they escalate, strengthening our security postures to stop attacks early, preparing businesses to recover swiftly from minimal damage. So this week, we'll explore the most effective strategies for staying ahead of cyber threats in 2025. Proactive threat mitigation, 3 key strategies. The first is continuous threat monitoring and risk assessment, because you can't stop what you can't see. Cyber attacks rarely happen out of nowhere. They leave traces before they strike. And continuous monitoring allows businesses to detect threats early so you can act before damage occurs. We can examine real-time monitoring to track suspicious activities, AI-powered security analytics to identify patterns of cyber threats, and use of security audits and penetration testing to expose vulnerabilities before attackers do. So see if you can take an action to set up an automated threat detection system like a SIM or an EDR or XDR. An example of an organization who did this is a healthcare company who prevented a ransomware attack by detecting abnormal login patterns early and blocking unauthorized access. Number 2, patch management and zero-day threat protection. Cyber criminals don't hack systems, they hack outdated systems. And what is one of the biggest security risks? Unpatched vulnerabilities. Attackers exploit outdated software to gain access. So automating your security updates is a must for you and your organization in order to keep it safe. We advise automating software and firmware updates to close security gaps, implementing vulnerability scanning tools to detect weaknesses before they're exploiting, adopting zero trust security principles to minimize access risks. And an action item or a challenge for you all this week is to maybe Conduct a patch management audit to ensure that all your software and devices are updated. This at least gives you a good baseline to work from as you move forward to remediating some of your biggest vulnerabilities. Example, a city government blocked a ransomware attack by automating updates, preventing attackers from exploiting known old software vulnerabilities and thus increasing their capabilities and preventing large-scale attacks that could have harmed them operationally. Third, incident response readiness and cyber drills. It's not about if a cyber attack will happen, it's about when and how you and your business will respond. Even the best cybersecurity defenses can be breached. What matters is how fast an organization can detect, contain, and recover from these attacks. So we challenge you and your businesses to develop a cyber incident response plan with clear roles and escalation procedures. Conduct regular cyber drills to test response readiness and ensure secure backups with disaster recovery plans in place. A challenge for you is perhaps to run, instead of having to do a full-scale drill right out of the chute, we suggest running a cybersecurity tabletop exercise to simulate a cyber incident and do a first test of your team's response. An example, a financial institution took these actions and reduced their recovery time from 5 days to 6 hours after conducting routine cyber attack simulations. So take a moment to assess your organization's proactive threat mitigation strategy. Are you actively monitoring for cyber threats? Is your software fully patched and up to date? Do you have a cyber incident response plan? We ask you to share in our discussion on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on our Facebook pages, or discuss with a colleague where you are at with regard to these proactive cybersecurity measures. Cyber resilient isn't about necessarily eliminating all risks, because that's probably infeasible, but you can better prepare for it. Proactive security saves you and your businesses from major financial and reputational losses. Your cybersecurity strategy must also evolve as our cyber threats evolve. So our ask for actions of you this week: implement at least one proactive security measure, whether it's automated threat monitoring, a patch management system, or undertaking a cyber drill. Continue the conversation on our Facebook page and share with us your key takeaways, strategies, and questions. And then join us next week for week 5, where we talk about cybersecurity leadership, creating a culture of security awareness. This is Dr. Rhonda Farrell, the founder of CSTGIA, closing out week 4, and we welcome you back to week 5, where we're discussing cybersecurity leadership, creating a culture of security awareness.